Okay. So to go full circle, and actually kind of bring up a little bit, we pulled Calvin back into Empire Avenue. He didn't quite get it, and I think he's trying to get it more. How do you, to someone who doesn't know anything about Empire Avenue, how do you position it? How do you explain it?
I explain Empire Avenue because it's an addicting game. It's a game. The gaming aspect of Empire Avenue is what makes it so interesting. It's what makes it so engaging, because the user, once they're hooked, and that's the user that you want, because you can bring that user to your site, and you don't. Sometimes that's not even the issue. You just want them to be a regular user and follow you. So what I do is, I buy stocks in people who are like-minded. So if you're in a blogging index, I'm in a blogging index. I would go and I'll purchase shares in them. And granted, they're adding value. If they're not adding value, then there's no point. So I would go purchase share and said, hey, it's nice to meet you. Obviously, I haven't met them in person unless I have.
Right.
And then I say, hey, if you like blogging, then leave a shout. And usually what happens is, if they're in a blogging index, they like blogging.
Right.
So they leave a shout back. And then I leave a shout back again. And that's how the communication starts. And actually, that's how I got to meet the guys on Xbox. And, I would have never gotten to know the guys from Xbox. But I just wrote that, and they left a shout back, and we exchanged messages after that. Empire Avenue has a direct message system. I've also joined communities.
Right.
There's a lot of BS communities going around.
Right.
But there's also communities like WordPress. Because our blog is all about WordPress, we joined a WordPress community. And there's questions being asked, and people want to know more about it. And most of the time, we've already covered that article. So I will say, okay, this is the answer, but if you want a more detailed answer, here's a link to our site. And that has increased their traffic from Empire Avenue. It's not, it's not as huge as Facebook right now. But what I think is that this is going to stay. It's not just.
See, I agree.
It's not one of those things that people say, oh, after 3 weeks you're gonna get tired of it and you're gonna dump it. But if you're using it the right way, it's not going to. Most people thought that about Twitter. When Twitter came out, they're like, this is a 3 weeks thing and you're going to dump it after this. Those people did not get the point of Twitter. And those people right now are not getting the point of Empire Avenue, because you can build so much engagement. Each person is, they're going to buy back in you. Then you can buy back in them. And the interaction of just having the gaming aspect of it is just crazy. It's mind-blowing, because people are not just like boring statuses. You're actually communicating. You're like, oh yeah, I made so much money off of you. Even though it's like fake Eves, right?
Right.
But
people make money off of me.
Exactly.
They're making hand over fist.
I know. And it's just that ease concept, that gaming aspect. I was thinking about doing that in our site actually. So if you just going around different pages, a new Xbox Live type thing just pops up. Like, hey, you just won this badge.
Nice.
because it has a Foursquare element, and Empire Avenue does buy badges. And people spend a lot of time freaking doing badges. And I think it was Friday the 13th badge.
Yeah, did you get it? I
did not get it.
I missed it.
But what happened was that I actually networked with a lot more people who were trying to find out the same thing. And really, I would have never in my life would have thought that I would get to know these people. Like Chris Latko,
Yeah.
I met him through this. Chris Voss, I met him through this. And a lot of Damon Nolan, I met him through this. So a lot of people that I would never expect to meet in real life or in social media in general, I met. And what? Like, these guys are going to become my friends. And there's some of them are my friends, like this guy right here. Now we're going to exchange.
And it's not because you still got to be a better investment, though. I need to pump up your dividends, man.
Yeah, my stock base split 3 times in one day.
Yours?
Yeah.
Dude, mine's like every other hour.
Yeah, but
I've got like 3,600 shareholders to manage.
The amount of people who are buying in you, I don't have the same amount of people who are buying in me.
I know. Well, see, but that's easier to manage, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just like,
obviously,
it's hard. It's very hard.
I'm already tired of going through all of those next to see who's not giving me the most return or who should I buy back in.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's tricky.
That is very crazy.
Are you using the Google Chrome extension that we made? You're not yet, are you?
No, I'm not, but you showed me and how cool it is with the ROI and everything.
You need to use it because it'll give you a better idea when you're looking at a page that you've already invested in. It'll show you if you lost money on them or made money. And if it's green down there, if there's a second set where you're green after commissions, if I'm looking at the page, I usually throw in more. Mm-hmm. So I know I'm generating revenue. And if it's red and I know I've had them for a week or whatever, I'm like, okay, I got to get rid of them right now.
Yeah, because
but you can go back to them too. That's the thing. People don't understand that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think what happens is that a lot of people, they get on, they're excited, and then they leave because they don't get the point.
Right.
So what happens is, that's what happened with Calvin. So, Calvin joined. I got in him very early, and then he pretty much abandoned it.
Yeah,
He's like, you know what? So then I got rid of him. for a while.
Oh, I did too.
And you know, and he started. Then we start talking. I'm like, Calvin, you got to get back in it. And he, you know, he's getting more into it. And
he got it.
And then I picked him more.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what, this guy, I don't want to have shares in somebody who's not engaging within the community. You know, it's only good to associate with people who are engaging, not the people who are just like that zombies.
Well, the challenge is that there are people who are on Empire Avenue who are very, very engaging. Very engaging. It's just they don't necessarily make the best investments right now.
Yeah.
And you know, this is what the difficult part is I definitely want to invest back, but I want to show them how they can give better returns to everybody. Because the mission, or I guess the whole focal point of Empire Avenue is not about building you up, it's about building up your shareholders. And so many people don't understand that. It's not about ego, it's the antithesis of ego, and I preached this from the first day I got on there. It's about giving dividends to your shareholders, and if you don't care about that, then it is an ego game for you, and you're not going to win. Win. You know, I mean, it's a relative term, right?
Because the game.
Right.
That's another thing that I noticed, that a lot of people, they just buy stocks for the price of going up.
Right.
You know,
and then
you know, those people are not very stable to buy. What I do is buy people who have steady dividends. So, you know, if you're giving me an ROI of 1 or plus, I'm definitely getting in you, because you know, I get return of investment every day, so I can buy back in more.
Exactly, and that's the thing. If you're not getting, you have to make smart investments if you want to meet more people. That's you. And I got so many people got mad at me for this. I'm like, you guys don't understand the point of the game. Well, I want to meet people. I'm like, yes, I understand, but I'm trying to tell you how to meet more people by investing in them. The only way to invest in them is to get more EVEs. To get more EVEs, you have to make good investment decisions. It's this cycle. So I'm not. I realize I'm stepping on toes. Some people completely disagree, and I'm like, hey, that's fine. But I tell you what, it's a formula that has absolutely worked. It's worked for me. It's worked for others. It'll keep on working.
And if you don't do that, or you don't have EVEs, then your only other option is to dump your real money
exactly.
to get EVEs.
Forget it.
That's worthless, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's a really cool thing, and I think Empire Avenue is going to grow. And obviously, the people with the most influence are actually going to be really beneficial, you know.
You know, and X did something as the Cabal that doesn't really exist apparently, but does. I didn't quite understand it at the beginning, and I think I've really upset a few of them. You know, I've been blocked by more people on Empire Avenue I'm like, why did you block me? Like, if I did something wrong, at least let me know. But they did something really amazing a couple of weekends ago. They did the X Spendapalooza. I don't know if you heard about this, but they essentially liquidated 4 million EVs to spend on people. I'm like, they get it. That is awesome. That's community leadership. You know, the people, and I was like, you know, that's really, really, at that point, I think I'd upset most of the X community from doing whatever the hell I did. And so I couldn't really participate in it. But it was still really neat to see that, you know, coming from within the community, that they're only trying to fuel that community. We may have a different philosophy or a different point of view of what we're using it for, and I think that's fine. But what they did with that particular event really kind of, I was like, okay, these are good people. They're really good people.
I you know, I didn't remember the name, but then I'm like, I know about it. And what happened was the chat, and people were like, hey, buy me, and then they were like, okay, they would look if you're a good investment. They weren't just buying you for no reason. But that annoys me, by the way. If someone says buy back, I'm not inclined to do it unless they're a good investment. And this is the reason why I post my tips. It's like, read these. I will tell you, here's how to be a better investment. I can't invest in everybody. There's only so many EVs you have in a day. I think your article should be paginated.
But you can't do that. I know. Tell me about it.
It is.
Well,
I was reading it.
I need help with a WordPress theme of sorts so that I can make. We're talking about doing something where I can, you know, do more with WordPress, and I can leverage my brand, we can leverage his brand, and kind of make some good things for everybody.
I'm looking forward to that.
No, trust me, because I believe you. I absolutely do need to paginate. But having it in one post, Calvin, he was tweeting, he's like, I just don't get it. I'm like, read the post. And it's a long post. But I was like, I can't, you know, just cut you off at the knees. And this is where I went to Eddie Ringel, who primarily developed the Chrome extension, and then secondarily George Sierra have both contributed to the plugin, and it needs more help. I mean, it's open source, it needs to be better. But I basically looked at all my problems when I looked at a page, I didn't know this, and this. We fixed that or addressed that in making this Chrome extension. So it helped me make even better investments.
That's right.
And know what I was looking at, how I was able to analyze it. And I don't treat people as dividends. They're people. You know, you're a human being. I mean, but I'm going to help you win the game, because that helps me win the game.
Yep.
You know, when someone has said, you know, he's already pimped his Empire Avenue, I'm like, fine, I'm an investor. Go win. I don't want you to lose. I'm invested.
And you know, a lot of people don't get this, that, you know, everybody wins. You don't have to be a superstar or rock star.
Right.
You know, you don't have to have a million following to win, because you are a winner. Yeah, as long as you engage in the community.
That's huge. It's about those connections. It's about maximizing. They talk about social media and ROI. Yeah. I think, honestly, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I think Empire Avenue is the pinnacle of social media engagement. It's never accelerated my engagement, my willingness to engage, my willingness to look, having fun at doing what I was already doing.
Yeah. And you know, one of the things that like I see a lot of brands that are not doing is like scheduling. And you know, it's to an extent now that it's not even real engagement.
Right.
Because they would just schedule, and do it in the morning and do it at night, and that's it. But the whole point of this was that, you know, you are making yourself available. And you know, brands are taking a shortcut route to that.
They're trying.
They're trying to take a shortcut.
Because you can do that with Twitter or Facebook or any of these. You cannot put Empire Avenue on autopilot.
Exactly.
You can't do it.
No.
And I think, honestly, people are I've said this about the internet. If people did not exist, I mean, go back and I've done my community speech 7 different times all over the world, and this falls onto everything I've said that is positive about communities. Yep. You have different people, different players, different reasons to exist, but you know, if the goal is to drive everybody forward and engage, Empire Avenue, while it's a bit difficult to kind of wrap your head around, it's kind of mathy, but if you get past those parts, you can find yourself engaged with your existing community at such a level that I think it's getting better. It's every increment, and you probably given feedback to dupes. And in fact, I think you're the one who helped get the
unlimited eves.
For referrals.
Yeah, because a lot of people are joining through me. And I'm like, you know what? I fucking want all of my list. You know, I want my entire email list.
Right.
Join Empire Avenue and talk with me. You know, there's a lot of people that join, and I know them by their email address, and I don't want them to be an email address. I want to associate a face.
Right.
I want to associate a name to them. And you know, a lot of people that I talk to, I've name dropped so many people already for Empire Avenue. I actually get to meet them. You know, I'm like exchanging messages. I remember their name. And that's what I want to do. And I sent to Dupes, and I'm like, Dupes, I want more Eves.
Yeah.
So when these people join, I can actually invest in them.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make sense. It's for me to bring, like, you know, 20,000 people in, and then realize that I don't have enough Eves to invest in them. That would be a very bad move on my part.
Trust me, I get a lot of pressure being one of the top stocks, and I'm not interested in the top stock. I'm not interested in being the richest person. I'm not interested in having all the luxury items. I'm only interested in one thing: being a top dividend returner. Because to me, that is the focus. If there's a focus of the game, if there's a way to win, it's giving dividends. I mean, it's just like the real world.
Exactly.
You only win if you have the highest amount of dividends to your shareholders. It's the same freaking thing.
That's how it works.
And if you're not focusing on them, you're going to lose. And I think this is why a lot of those social media pundits write it off.
Yeah.
They see it as a very poor marketing message of buying and selling people. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. I think it's poor positioning on their part, because it completely flies in the face of exactly what Empire Avenue is. It's not buying and selling people. It's investing in people and seeing them be successful inside of social media, on site or beyond.
I don't think I can say it any better. I don't think I can say it any better.
Yeah, thank you. So, because we're saying the same thing. I mean, we're preaching to the choir with each other, but hopefully this gives a few more people some ideas. So I think...